Hey guys, this is Juan with the Cine-Men Movie Podcast, letting you know that this episode is brought to you by San Marcos Mexican Restaurant, located at 2301 Southwest 59th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Give them a call at 405-685-7773 for a to-go order or dine in. And also, don't forget, Wednesday's Margarita Day, $5 on the house margaritas, on the rocks or frozen. Check them out. It's the perfect medicine to get over that hump day, and let Abel know that the Cine-Men Movie Podcast sent you for a 10% off your entire order. San Marcos Mexican Restaurant. It's the only restaurant of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast.
See right through you any hour.
You like that, old man? You want a piece of me?
Do I feel like it? Well, do you, punk?
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
You do? You shoot your eye out, kid.
I answered. And don't call me Shirley.
There's no crying in baseball. This is long, bitch. Hey, the Schwartz baby.
I am the father.
At you, my pretty.
Take your stinking paws off me.
May the force be with you.
Here's Johnny.
Happy Valentine's Day, moviegoers. Welcome to episode 180. Welcome to Twilight, and welcome to the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Juan, and I am joined by the cast, the crew. Zach.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Craig.
Yo.
Edward.
Hey, how's it going, folks?
How's what a week, what an episode to talk about everything that we're about to talk about today.
Birthday.
Craig, we'll start with you. How was your weekend? Busy weekend?
Extremely busy. 3 days, 3 birthdays, and then Super Bowl party. So,
Super Bowl Sunday. We're gonna get ready to talk about it. Zach, how about you? Did you have a good weekend?
I did, yep. Celebrated a little bit more my birthday this weekend. Just like everyone else watched Super Bowl.
Nice. Ed, how about you? You have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was good. Just yeah.
So we'll talk about everybody's Super Bowl watch parties, I guess, and go through, I guess, a little bit of the outcome. But last week, guys, Rear Window. We discussed Rear Window on Zach's birthday. It was Zach's pick, so go back and listen to that episode. It was a fun, and honestly, recently, I mean, a pretty fun conversation with just how different film has been over the last 50 some odd years. That's always nice when you talk about movies from that day and age. So go listen to that episode. Go support that episode. You can listen to it anywhere you listen to your podcast, anywhere on social media as well as where we are found. So Spotify, Anchor, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts at, listen to us and check out that episode. And you can also listen to us on Apple Podcast, thanks to the Prescribed Films Network, hashtag the PFPN. Great group of guys over there. You can listen to them. All different kind of podcasts on that one website and that one link. So the Movie Defenders are on that link, Attack of the Killer podcast. So if you enjoy movie podcasts, go check out that website. Again, that's www.prescribedfilms.com. And then, guys, today is the announcement. We are announcing our Batman giveaway. I guess what better way to do it than now? You guys get a whole bunch of stuff from all of our great sponsors. You get a movie poster from CDR Electronics. Technically, it's a movie poster of your choice because it's a $10 gift certificate. You get a 6-pack of OKC soda. You get a $15 gift certificate from Rodeo Cinema. You get a girthy $50 gift certificate from San Marcos Mexican Restaurants. And then, thanks to our local Little Caesars right here in Oklahoma City, you are going to get a $25 gift certificate for Little Caesars because they are the official pizza of Batman and the film, The Batman. So go check them out. the Little Caesars gift card will be included in the giveaway. But you got to go visit this store only. It's 4701 South May Avenue, right here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Just let the general manager know that the Cine-Men Movie Podcast sent you when you present them the gift certificate. So, guys, you get all that girthy stuff in this Batman giveaway. And then I didn't even announce the actual, I guess really the main good prize is you get a Batman vinyl pop figure. So all this stuff, again, you guys, today's Valentine's Day, so you get the announcement of what we're giving away next Monday, February the 21st, is when you can actually start entering the contest, and you can try to win all that stuff.
All that stuff, and not even a bag of chips, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a girthy giveaway for a girthy movie.
Yeah, almost 3 hour movie, so you're gonna get a fun movie and a fun giveaway. So, I had to do it big, man. But it's the Batman, it's Robert Pattinson, which is why we are here today. We're talking Twilight from 2008, and I think it's gonna be a fun conversation. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea out there, so believe me, I've been reading some of the emails. But we got a lot of stuff to give away. We got a lot of stuff to get to today. We have a fun top 5. A lot of emails about the top 5. It's our top 5 worst movies of 2021 today. We got a lot of entertainment news to get into, and I can't wait to get into it.
Hey guys, this is Zach here with the Cine-Men Movie Podcast, here to talk to you about our good friends over at Rodeo Cinema. Like you just heard from Johnny, they're giving away a $15 gift certificate for the Batman giveaway. So if you are the winner, why don't you go check them out, support the show, and support that local, unique, non-for-profit art house movie theater in the Stockyards of Oklahoma. Some of their upcoming viewings including tonight, February the 14th at 7 o'clock, they're showing Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Great movie. And opening on Friday, February the 25th, Paul Thomas Anderson's Best Picture nominated film, Licorice Pizza. And on Saturday, February the 19th, 7 o'clock, the 50th anniversary screening of Superfly. So go check them out. Rodeo Cinema, 2121 Exchange Avenue, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And tell them that the Cine-Men Movie Podcast sent you.
All right, guys, there's a lot of stuff to hang out and talk about with some entertainment news or movie news, I guess. First offhand, though, let's talk about last night. Everybody watched it. I believe it's over 95 million views, and we're talking about the Super Bowl last night. Zach, for somebody who doesn't follow sports, what'd you think?
Overall, I thought it was a good game, very good halftime show. It kind of lost me the last part of the third quarter into the fourth quarter, just kind of we're going back and forth a little bit. But overall, I mean, my pick actually won, the Rams, so I was overall okay with it. So
Did you enjoy the halftime show?
I did, yeah.
Commercials? Do you have a favorite commercial?
Man, probably either that Doctor Strange trailer or Jordan Peele's Nope, which we'll talk about here in a minute.
Ed, what about you? Did you enjoy the Super Bowl?
Yeah, actually, I really thought it was a good game. So yeah, definitely. I mean, honestly, two prolific offenses, great defenses all around as well. Some injuries, but both teams I think are going to come out stronger and better for it. Yeah, simple as that. I wanted to say the Rams were going to win, but it did not look so for just a minute there. They struggled a little bit. Joe kept his cool until the end, man.
I'm going to come out on a limb and say that the Bengals will never, ever be again in the Super Bowl, as long as Joe Burrow there.
I don't know about that.
I don't think they're going to be there ever again. Craig, what about you? Did you enjoy the game?
I agree with you. AFC is stacked. I think that was their one opportunity.
Yep.
Cincinnati's not a big market, and Cincinnati's not one of those teams that normally put big money in the pockets to get players. So not only that, you got to go through Kansas City, you got to go through the Chargers, got to go through tons of other teams in the
Colts
AFC.
are still a good team. The Patriots.
Yeah.
So, did you enjoy the halftime show or the commercials?
I did enjoy the halftime show. I thought it was very simple compared to previous years, especially the weekends last year. It was simple. Everything was right there in the middle. just put on a good performance, good music. And, like I said, when we were doing our predictions, head says the Rams, heart says the Bengals, and the head prevailed. So
I thought it was an okay game overall. I mean, I really did like the back and forth at the end. The thing that just kind of struck me about it was I didn't like the 2 minutes left. I didn't like the game ending in the referee's hands. I think when you don't call flagrant fouls throughout the game, then why do it the last 2 minutes of the game? I don't know. That's just me. I did enjoy some of the commercials were kind of stupid and irritating. The only commercials I did enjoy were the movie trailers. Um,
The only non movie trailer commercial that I did enjoy was the Disney Plus Aquafina one with the goats.
oh yeah,
I thought that was kind of cute. So
that was pretty funny. In other news though, Zach, we can hurry up and get this out of the way. Oscar nominations.
do you want to do your rant now or
we're
after
just-
after I do the nominations?
We're just 6 weeks away from the Oscars, give or take. I did read that they're doing a popularity contest award.
Yeah, they're just.
So
I think they're trying to unite movie fans, and starting today on Twitter on Oscars, you are able to vote for your favorite film and your favorite movie moment, and whoever gets the most nominations will be read on the Oscar show on March 27th.
so if you
So
want,
Spider-Man, No Way Home's gonna win, probably.
what do you think? Go ahead and announce some of the big nominations.
I'm just gonna skip through a lot of the
Let's just talk about Best Picture.
Best Picture. Okay, so every year they always jump between 8 to 10 nominations. I think they just should stick with 10, and that way a lot more films could get nominated. Our 10 Best Picture nominees are Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, which I hadn't even heard of until the nominations, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. I think, and I wanted to get Ed and Craig's opinion about this. We talked about
fuck
this on
me,
the,
right? No, I'm just-
we talked about it on the Macbeth episode, and the Oscars. I think, unless you're a big movie person like me, it's just almost like a popularity contest at this point, and no one really cares. But at this point in the game, if you're trying to get viewership, if you're trying to get people to care more about the ceremony and everything, wouldn't the logical answer wouldn't the logical winner be Dune? Because it was both a critical and financial success. Both critics and audiences like it, and people are excited about the new one. It's I think it will sweep the technical awards, but I just think if you're really wanting people to care,
for Best Picture,
yeah, give it to Dune.
You're talking about out of the ones you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of the ones you just mentioned, Dune should, and I still feel that way. I think it should be a film like Dune to win Best Picture because
At this point, Johnny, me and you, we hope anything wins except for Power of the Dog.
true.
At this point.
True, but I still think, in order for people like your average movie day, who just goes to the movies to see the big popcorn films, you have to give it to a movie like Dune because nobody has seen the other shit, and this year. Argue with me, come at me, but I think the other films are shit. Other than probably King Richard and West Side Story and Dune.
Yeah. It's not a very good year, with the exception of the 3 that you mentioned. Yeah.
So you're gonna lose. You're gonna continue to lose viewership unless you don't broaden your aspect of film.
And I think that's what they're trying to do with this Twitter poll.
And I think that's a cop out. It's not.
Go ahead.
I think that's a complete cop out because they,
that film will get no award.
It's gonna get an Oscar, but what are you gonna call that Oscar? Spider-Man wins what? Popularity contest?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the Dominion trailer. I thought it was great.
Yeah, Jurassic World. Looks cool.
What'd you guys think? Dominion trailer?
I think it looks pretty good. Looks a lot better than what the last one was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna kind of be a No Way Home of Jurassic Park, so Jurassic World in this case, I guess.
I hope not, because hopefully they don't. This is where they mix universes and Fast 9 shows up.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Speaking of No Way Home again, that shit keeps getting brought up. But we talk about Marvel, the Doctor Strange trailer. Talk about something I don't want to be given away. Why the
Why-
Professor X giveaway?
I didn't know that. Like I just watched the trailer just without sound, and then I went back and listened to it. I was like, oh, but that just because it's a
Why?
I know, but because it's a multiverse, that could be anything. That
So-
literally could be anything.
So, Craig, do you? And anybody can answer, but I want to ask you since you're the Marvel fanatic. Do you think they give that away in the trailer so more people can be like, oh, if that voice is in there, no telling Hugh Jackman might be in there.
Yeah, I think it's risk one to kind of
Earn $1 billion.
yeah. I mean, you're really only giving away one voice, and we've already read that Doctor Strange is going to have. I've read, and I don't know how much truth is behind it, but it should have the most Marvel characters on screen at one time, even surpassing Endgame.
I read that Ben Affleck's in there too for just a little bit as Daredevil. I did.
It would be fun.
As long as Colin Kaepernick doesn't come back as a bullseye, we're good, right?
What are you,
Colin Kaepernick?
Colin Farrell? Colin Farrell, you mean?
Doesn't, yeah, I mixed
Ed,
up
this is why you're high.
every fucking day.
You're high as a fucking kite right now.
You got 6 days between shows to hit the. Leave it alone like Sunday night.
Look, man, I watched the Super Bowl, and
Colin Kaepernick was nowhere near the Super Bowl.
It was the Neil.
What?
You guys can send hate mail to us at cinemen921@gmail.com. He's like a cyborg sometimes.
Was that his Moonfall situation?
Yeah.
C3PO.
It's been greenlit. Production starts in a few weeks. Final Destination 6. I thought it was going to be a reboot, but it's not. It's going to be a 6th installment. Are you guys excited? Happy? What can they do with 2022 and new things to do a Final Destination movie? I think this might be pretty good.
You think they'll
Probably a requel.
Yeah, you think they'll requel it?
I don't know because none of the movies tied in.
No, but I mean, it's the only one that really tied in was really the 5th one.
Yeah.
So,
Craig, you like those movies?
Hard pass.
As long as they bring the log truck back, we're good.
Speaking of hard pass,
Give it to me.
Regina Hall, Wanda Sykes, and Amy Schumer are the co-hosts of the Oscars this year.
Hard pass.
Hard pass. I want to die. I think that's gonna be the biggest turnoff.
Are they trying to get people to watch it, or are they trying to push people away?
So I was gonna watch it live, but I think I'm just gonna probably skip out and watch highlights on YouTube the next day, or just watch. Just read the results on my phone for the episode the next day. I think I was really leery of watching them this year because of how many awards Power of the Fuck Dog was winning. But I think that I'm just done at this point, and I think it's going to be a complete waste of time. It's going to be a complete waste, and yeah, what better way to make sure people don't watch your product by doing that? So it's up to me.
I was gonna say the first two were all right. Wanda Sykes, I feel like, is a very good
Oh yeah,
cartoon voice actor. But you lost me with Amy Schumer.
I would be fine with just Regina Hall and Wanda Sykes.
Oh yeah, no doubt on those two. That's fine, but fucking
Amy Schumer looks like she's
Puke
gonna
Bucket?
swallow the Oscar award.
like, why bring in Puke Bucket?
Jesus Christ.
but something more positive that we can talk about.
I saved it last for you, Zach. The Lord of the Rings, Power of the Ring, or Ring of Power, the trailer. Excuse me. I'm excited. Oh, I'm excited about it just because it's not a reboot. What about you, Zach?
Yeah, the fact that they really made that clear in the trailer before the King, before the Fellowship, this is a real true prequel to everything that came before, which that makes me a little bit more interested in it, just because it's like, okay, we're not retreading territory, we're doing something new.
Kind of makes me wonder where the timeline is going.
I heard it's before The Hobbit.
Even way before that, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though. Is it around the first war?
That's all you got to know. It's before The Hobbit. So
yeah.
what about you,
We'll
Ed? You
find
got
out.
anything you want to bring to the table?
So for all you Letterkenny fans,
Oh
of
my
course,
God.
Of course, there's a spinoff that's been in talks, and now it is official. The teaser trailer for Shorzy came out the other day, and yeah, I think it looks fucking sick. So
Letter Kenny G.
that's Ollie G. No,
For all you guys who are tired of hearing us bitch and complain about the Oscars, don't forget in just 2 weeks from today, February the 28th, we're producing our top 5 plus 5 of 2021. We're going to give away and pretty much name all of our tops of last year, actors, actresses, fun movies, fun movie moments, and then our top 5 plus 5 movies from last year. So we're also going to present the prestigious Dog Shit of the Year award, which is worst upon worst movies of the year.
It's a real special film to get that.
Real special film. So don't forget, in just 2 weeks, play along. Send us in your emails. Some of you already have. It's going to be a fun episode. We do it every single year. So February 28th, our top 5 plus 5 of 2021. Hey guys, this is Juan. Don't forget to check out CDR Electronics. CDR serves the OKC metro area with the best value for your electronics. Visit them online at cdrokc.com or visit them in store at 1604 West I-240 Service Road right here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Don't forget, they have the biggest selection of physical media. So if you're like me and you want to check up on those Blu-rays and 4Ks, go inside and see all what they have to offer. They also have perfect value on their consoles, computers, TVs, video games, all that and more. Don't forget, the official and the only electronics store of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast, CDR Electronics. Hey guys, also don't forget that this episode is brought to you by OKC Soda Company, the craft soda company of Oklahoma, with super unique flavors like strawberry milkshake and blueberry. Made with pure cane sugar and natural flavors. Visit them at okcsodacompany.com or visit your local Homeland stores to grab you a 6-pack today. OKC Soda Company, it's the only soda of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. And now, some facts by Zax.
So here's your top 4 things about Twilight you may or may not know. In the scene where Bella goes to the Cullens house for the first time, when Nikki Reed's character had to break the bowl, she actually cut her hands. This is why she's wearing gloves for the scene in the film. Robert Pattinson stated in an interview that this is his first American role, and he had no formal training to perfect his American accents. Kristen Stewart has naturally green eyes. She wears brown contacts for filming to match Bella's eye color in the novel. And Jennifer Lawrence, Michelle Trachtenberg, and Sarah Paxton were considered for the role of Bella.
Nice.
So,
And those are your facts by Zach. Let's get into some recent watches. Craig, you have anything that you checked out this past weekend you want to talk about?
Oh, for sure. Watch the Super Bowl. Just like the other 95 million or billion. I don't know. Million. Yeah, it's only like 1 point.
The consensus went way the fuck up there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the only one.
Anyways, I took some medicine, so chill.
So did Ed.
That's medicinal.
First off,
caught up on Demon Slayer, finished out the season. I mean, what an epic season for Demon Slayer. Easily one of the best seasons of an anime that I've ever watched. I'm all caught up on Euphoria. Again, that's another Sunday thing for me. Just towards the end of the night, just watch all that. I'm all caught up on Book of Boba Fett. Man.
Is it over yet?
It is not over, but it is. It's
got one more episode, doesn't it?
Yeah, I
One
think
or
so.
two.
But it's just another home run hit from.
So is that episode 5 now or 6?
Should be 6.
6.
Yeah, just another home run hit for them on their Disney Plus series. And caught up on watched Twilight and started on New Moon. So
I'm right there with you. I watched Twilight, and as soon as the movie was over, it made me want to watch New Moon. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. I finally opened up and went through my Resident Evil box set that we unboxed it a few months ago and put on the YouTube channel. Went through and watched Resident Evil 1 and 2, which is 1 in Apocalypse. After last week, I talked about watching Welcome to Raccoon City. Welcome to Raccoon City kind of feels they really placed it in like a prequel, so it makes you want to watch the other films. Talking about Denzel Washington, Zach, a few weeks ago, I finally checked out Cry Freedom. The movie was really good up until the moment that he is no longer in the movie, because he's only in it for like the first 30 minutes, and then it's kind of boring from there. Purchased and rewatched The Odd Couple 1 and 2. Tremendous movies, really funny. Finally watched Encanto. It's really good, but the only thing that I just feel a little bit detached from it were the songs. It didn't feel memorable. Other than the Bruno song, to me, some of the songs just didn't stick with me. But maybe if I, listen to the music and then rewatch it, maybe the music will start hitting on me. King Richard, phenomenal film. Colors with Sean Penn, really, really good movie.
There you go.
And then I watched the Criterion version of One Night in Miami. Really forgot how good that movie is from a few years ago. Really, really good, fun movie. And then before we move on, I just want to say, rest in peace to Ivan Reitman.
Yeah.
Passed away late last night. The creator and director of so many great American movies, and the Ghostbusters is probably one of the biggest ones that everybody knows. So, yeah, fun week, and rest in peace to Ghostbusters creator Ivan Reitman. Ed, what about you? You check anything out?
Yeah, I haven't been here for a couple weeks, so got a little bit to catch up on. But gone to see Jackass Forever. Maybe want to watch the other ones, so basically just been watching those.
I actually heard that one was Forever was really good.
It was really, really good. Don't get me wrong. Just a little too much of the Jackass crew than I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Specific parts. Either way, go see it if you're a fan of the series. Viva La Bam, Jackass, Wild Boys, any of those, go see it, man. You'll thank yourself later. So that got me into wanting to watch the original Jackass movies. So basically, I've just got 3 and 3.5 left to watch, as well as I watched Twilight, of course. Um, Super Bowl came over here a little early and got to catch the part of One Night in Miami, and I'll agree that was a really good. At least what I got to see of it was really good for that matter.
Yeah, it was only like the last 15, 20 minutes you saw.
Yeah, I was about to say, so that made me really interested in that. But yeah, other than that, still been watching Scrubs every now and then, and basically I've gotten caught up on Book of Boba as well. Well, up to episode 5 at least. I think I need to watch 6, but yeah. So there we go.
Zach, what about you?
Yeah, I'm just trying to catch up on 2021 movies that I missed. We're having our big 2021 review episode here in a couple weeks, so get prepared for that. Send in your list. I'll just rapid fire through these. Last Night in Soho, Edgar Wright's new movie, pretty good. I didn't like it as good as Baby Driver, but I thought it was an interesting concept that he created. The Card Counter with Oscar Isaac, I thought that was very much an A24 vibe type film. Blue Bayou, which Johnny, you had recommended a couple weeks ago, very, very powerful film. The Many Saints of Newark, the Sopranos prequel, I liked it. The whole thing.
You don't have to be a Sopranos fan to enjoy it.
You really don't. And to be honest, I mean, the whole big thing is on the poster is who made Tony Soprano. Tony Soprano's only in it for maybe 15, 20 minutes, truthfully.
And I think when they say who made, I think you're just
seeing
who inspired.
Yeah.
And I think putting Tony Soprano's name on it and then hyping it up as a prequel to The Sopranos,
yeah,
I think that is what made it
the downfall.
But if you rewatch and don't think anything about The Sopranos,
it's an enjoyable gangster
flick.
Yeah. And then finally, you mentioned it last week. Ron's Gone Wrong. I watched it on HBO Max. I've seen better animation movies this year, but it wasn't like a terrible film. So,
all right, guys, if you want to recommend anything to us or put anything out there as a future episode, don't forget to send us an email, cinemen921@gmail.com. You guys can also hit us up on the Twitter, which is at Cinnamon405. The Instagram is one word, Cinnamon Movie Podcast, and then the Facebook is facebook.com/The Cinnamon Movie Podcast. And just hit us up.
Here's Johnny.
Hey guys, don't forget to check out our good boys over at Friday the 14th podcast. This past week they talked about Alien 3, and then this Wednesday on Friday the 14th presents UHD. Me and Nick are going to talk about Stream, which is available now on, I think it's Pluto and Tubi. So go check out the Stream, as that's what we're going to be talking about this Wednesday. And then I'm really excited about this because next Wednesday, which is going to be next Wednesday, the 23rd.
21st.
The 21st is next Monday.
Yeah.
The 23rd,
23rd, yeah,
is
right.
next Wednesday, and me, Nick, and Mr. Fuentes is going to talk about the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
There you go.
which hits Netflix this Friday. So the following Wednesday, we're going to talk about the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Should be fun. I can't wait to dig into it and see, because that's going to be a requel as well. So I can't wait to dig into it and see what everybody else's thoughts as well. But go back and check them out. Friday the 14th podcast. Fun group, great group of guys who love talking about horror movies. And yeah, it's a little fun podcast. Also check them out on the social media as well at Friday the 14th podcast UHD.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi ho!
What you down here with me? You belong so.
Like scary.
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Podcasts.
Hey guys, it is that special time of day and it is that special time of month. If you need some help, go ahead and give us a shout out at bluechew.com. It's their special flavor of the month edition. Chew it and do it with Blue Chew. It's, like I said, the flavor of the month, and it's the love season of the month. So check them out. Use the special code that we have, MALEIN, MALEIN20, and you get a special discount to where all you got to do is pay for shipping and handling. Pay $5, pay for your shipping and handling, and it helps out the podcast. It helps out our numbers. And if our numbers go up, your numbers go up, and it's not the only thing that goes up. So check them out, bluechew.com. Use that code and help support this podcast. It's the special flavor of love month, so check them out. Chew it and do it with Blue Chew. All right, guys, this week, since we are just a few weeks away from our top episode of the year, we are going to talk about our top 5 plus 5, or no, not plus 5, that's in a few weeks. We're going to talk about our top 5 worst movies of 2021 today. Some emails have already been pretty funny, so I can't wait to dig into it with you guys. So let's dig into our top 5 worst movies of 2021. Does anybody have any honorable mentions? Craig?
Negative.
Zach?
I got a couple, yeah.
I'm going to go through mine right quick, rapid fire. Eternals, Fast 9, and my official honorable mention is going to be Infinite and Marksman. Zach, what about you?
I'll just rapid fire through mine. Eternals, The Matrix Resurrections, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, and my official honorable mention, Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Oh, nice.
5.
I'll get us started. Number 5 for me is going to be a movie that I was kind of excited about just because I enjoyed this character in the other movies that portrayed him. Snake Eyes. Um, I really enjoyed the first Joe movie for I don't know whatever reason, but I think it was because of the comedy of Channing Tatum, Marlon Wayans, and Snake Eyes was just that mystique kind of character that you were really interested in. You wanted more of. So many years later, you get a movie with him in it, and it's just kind of nonchalant. You get the full character get up in the last second of the movie. So I thought it was a huge disappointment, but not only was it a disappointment for me, the movie was not very good. So number 5 for me is going to be Snake Eyes from earlier this year. Zach, what about you? What do you got number 5?
Number 5, I'll just mention. It's called Things Heard and Seen. It was a Netflix movie. This whole thing about Netflix releasing a movie every week was honestly, it was pretty awful. With the exception of maybe one or two, it was pretty bad. This movie had Amanda Seyfried in it, and dude, I can't tell you nothing about it other than maybe I think it was a haunted house movie. So number 5 is Things Heard and Seen. It was a Netflix movie.
Nice. Craig, what about you? You got something number 5?
Yeah, number 5 for me, I think it's gonna be The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. Not probably not one of the worst movies of the year, but from what I've seen, it definitely did match up to some of the others that they've put out. Had its flaws, had its good moments, but definitely had its flaws. So it's gonna be my number 5.
Edward, what about you? What do you got at number 5?
Number 5, Tom and Jerry. Yeah.
Enough said.
Chloe Moretz Grace to me was the only thing that was good in it, and yeah, other than that, it just didn't seem to mix very well. So.
Number 4 for me is going to be from earlier this year. It's a horror movie, unfortunately, but it's going to be The Unholy, starring Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Again, really cool concept. Really enjoyed the way Jeffrey Dean Morgan portrayed the character, but just didn't do it for me overall. An hour and a half movie felt like 2 hours and 15 minutes. It dragged, and then when the end was finally starting to pick up, you just didn't care anymore. So. And again, those PG-13 horror movies always are hit and miss. So this one was definitely a miss for me. Number 4 is The Unholy. So, Zach, what do you have at number 4?
Number 4 is another Netflix movie. We just got done talking last week about Rear Window. This one was probably the most egregious of them all. I've never seen something that was so blatantly trying to rip something off. The Woman in the Window with Amy Adams has a good cast. Amy Adams, Julianne Moore, Gary Oldman, Anthony Mackie, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Wyatt Russell. Look, man, look. In the first 10 seconds when you see a snapshot of Jimmy Stewart and that Amy Adams character is watching that when she falls asleep, it's like, oh, so not only are you blatantly trying to rip off this movie, but you just say, oh yeah, this is what we're basing it off. It's just, to me, it's just lazy filmmaking, and I just thought it was one of the worst movies of the year. So
Maybe you should stay off of Netflix. Then.
Yeah, I probably need to stay away from Netflix for a while.
Craig, what about you? What do you got at number 4?
Number 4 for me is going to be The Matrix. I think I rated it like a 6 or 7. But the more and more I think about it, I even tried to rewatch it a while back. Just doesn't do it for me. Very just throw shit together and hope it sticks. Put it on HBO Max. Then you get mad that you put it on HBO Max and you get sued by people that are mad that it didn't make money in the theaters. Just a whole mess, top to bottom. It really shouldn't have been done. Shouldn't even be a part of what the Matrix trilogy is. And just call it what it is.
Ed, what about you? What do you got at number 4?
Number 4, The Eternals.
You finally got to watch it?
Dude, I tried 4 times. And the fourth,
it's not that bad.
Dude, no. Okay,
let you guys just dig into it.
3 times I fell asleep. Like, the first time was halfway through it. No. The first time was halfway through it. I woke up and it was pretty much over. Second time, I fell asleep like 20 minutes into it. And the third time, I fell asleep like, I don't know, probably about an hour or so, maybe around half of it. And then the fourth time, I was just like, dude, I've got to watch this so I can at least have a fucking, like, opinion on this shit. So yeah, it's the only Marvel movie to date that I've just had minimal interest in, and it was like they were trying to do the Justice League, but fucking wrong.
The Unjustice League.
And I mean that like I don't know, because literally some of the pieces, like Kamal Nanjiani, I thought was great. I liked him. Angelina Jolie played her character, I thought, pretty well. You know, kind of a stone kind of. I'll be able to fight the best of us, and then just didn't mix well past that. Truthfully, in my opinion, and then
I agree the movie was bare,
and then
but
literally
I don't think it's one of the worst.
they changed up all of the fucking like origins from the comics. They changed it all up too, so it's just kind of like I don't know where they were going with it. Just yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying I hated it, but I'm definitely not saying like it took me 4 times, man. Like even like Captain Marvel, I could watch the first time. I mean,
You loved Captain Marvel.
How many times did it take you to watch Aquaman?
pretty much before that shit once.
What about now?
No, fuck that.
Number 3 for me. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it because it's fucking ferocious. Number 3 for me. I'm gonna agree with you, Craig. Matrix is number 3 for me. Not only is it a piece of mess then, it's a piece of mess now. I gave it a 4, and it was just it's all over the place. When you can sit there and say Matrix 3 is now better than something else, then you did something wrong. So
Let me ask you, what was the point of the movie?
I don't even remember. It's forgettable. But you know what? Guess who's spending $30 on it when it comes out on 4K?
Yep.
So
Poor John.
but yeah, that's my number. It's gonna be my number 3. Is Matrix Resurrections. Zach, what do you got at number 3?
Number 3 is another atrocious film that came out this summer. Space Jam: A New Legacy. Truly,
I'm surprised that's number 3.
oh, dude. There's 2 more films that piss me off even more. So,
Hansen remake.
no. Space Jam is just, that's a film that all of us grew up on, and, I think truly, I think we can admit it's probably not a very good movie, but we enjoy it, and Michael Jordan was awesome in it. This one just took it like to the utmost extreme with the whole intellectual property. It's going to be like Ready Player One, and every single Warner Brothers character is going to be there at the tournament. Terrible. LeBron James, just stop. And I think why this one failed so much was it was a LeBron James movie and not a Looney Tunes movie. That's what they.
Hold up. You mean it was King's movie?
Whatever. It was not focused on the Looney Tunes at all, unlike the original, where it was a Looney Tunes movie first, then brought Michael Jordan into it. Just one of the. Yeah. No more time spent on that. So, number 3, Space Jam: A New Legacy.
I'll spend more time on it shortly.
Craig, what about you? What do you got number 3?
Number 3 for me is going to be the Mortal Kombat movie that came out this year. Again, bringing it back to our piece on it. We didn't like this movie as it is, but going forward, I think what it can bring can be very good. But
sequel's greenlit, yeah.
This movie, as it was, didn't reach the bar of what it was kind of shown to be. It falls short. So
Kale has to die.
Ed, what about you? What do you got at number 3?
Number 3, Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Compared to the first, complete shit. Compared to the second, not much different. And this just...
I don't think it was that bad. What did you get? I mean, I know what Craig didn't like about it. What did you not like about it?
The title was very misleading.
That. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, if you've got that story that the devil made me do it, literally, okay, I'm not saying you need to bring Lucifer in this, but, like...
I like how it was more, but this one was more realistic as far as, like, a psychopath or somebody who was more mentally disturbed was the case instead of more underworld phenomenal kind of shit going on.
But that's what that franchise is, though.
But
It's
not
just
only-
the paranormal.
But even in the end, it was underworld-esque.
Yeah, kind of.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
but-
with all that, even like the story, they didn't the actual person really didn't get shit for his story. He really didn't.
It's a movie.
No, the actual person didn't get shit for his story.
What do you mean?
Any recognition? You mean?
Like, basically, they just kind of, like, back in the day when they actually got his story, wrote it and all that, and then this, they just kind of shit on him. Yeah.
So why would that make any kind of difference on what I think about a movie?
I guess that's just my opinion.
Number 2 for me is going to be Chaos Walking. Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley. They bring out a tremendous cast for this, but guess what? It overall ended up just being a big old hour and 49-minute piece of shit. And you can watch it on Hulu, but I don't recommend the hour and 49 minutes. Again, some of these movies have really good, fun concepts about always knowing what the other person is thinking, but it just didn't do it for me. So yeah, $1 billion idea, wiped
$1 billion
with
cast.
yeah, wiped with just a shit movie. So I would like to see Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley do something other than what they're known for. But so far, like Tom Holland with Cherry or Daisy Ridley with anything else she's been in, like it's just not there. So Chaos Walking.
Like Tom Holland was good in The Devil You Know.
Yeah.
And it was very different from what he's normally done.
Yeah.
I mean, as a whole, the movie wasn't like epic, but it was a nice change of pace for him, and it was a solid movie.
So that's my number 2, Chaos Walking. Zach, what do you got at number 2?
Number 2, I don't. Again, going back to Netflix, it was pretty bad year, man. It got dark some days. Thunder Force, Melissa McCarthy, Octavia
Why?
Spencer. Dude,
You got yourself into that.
I know.
Zach was just like, went to the Netflix search page and just was like shitty movies, and it pulled up this list.
Everyone that's on every odd movie he watched, every
Pretty
odd
much.
like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 on
Pretty
the list
much,
he
yeah.
watched.
And the fact that they thought this was like a crowning achievement is like on all their merchandise and everything is insane to me. Waste the time of Oscar winner Octavia Spencer and just like, dude, yeah, that's enough. Yeah, Thunder Force is number 2.
Jeez. Craig, what about you? What do you got at number 2?
The good old Tom and Jerry remake that I immediately stopped the first time. I was just like, this is what Zach was talking about. I'm already done with this shit. Turn it off. Turn it back on like a few days, weeks later. And I was just like, why? Why do this to these characters? The drawing was like, keep the drawing original. Keep it same. It just wasn't. It wasn't Tom and Jerry. So that's my number 2.
Ed, what about you? What do you got at number 2?
I think we all know what my number 2 is. Fast 9. I did like it predominantly,
I think you were the only one that liked it.
but it just
I was expecting you to rip that movie apart. You're just like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, I give it a 6. It was okay.
it was okay. You know.
Everything's okay when you got family.
When you got family.
Number 1 for me, Zach, you already said it, Space Jam 2, New Legacy. Terrible, terrible movie. I was actually really excited and interested in watching it. It's one of the few movies that I did not purchase last year, and I will not purchase just because of how bad it is. Even on Black Friday when it was like $7.99, I still passed on it.
That's impressive. The one movie you buy everything, and this is so bad that like, nope, it's not going to the collection.
It's a hard pass just because I don't enjoy LeBron James as an athlete. I don't enjoy LeBron James as a person, and I damn sure don't enjoy LeBron James as an actor. I've seen him act way better on the court, taking some flops. So giving him a full-length 2-hour movie is just completely and utterly horrible.
Yep.
And I know I probably couldn't act any better than that, but I'm not out there trying to make a movie about me. Everything has to be about him. Space Jam 2, oh, Michael did it, so now I got to do it.
It was so cringy.
Yeah. So the kids who I think the kids that were in there was horrendous too. If you're gonna have LeBron James act or try to act, you might as well put his real family in there.
What's worse, Space Jam and New Legacy or Thunderstruck with Kevin Durant?
Never seen Thunderstruck, so yeah.
LeBron James does it again.
Yeah.
Because Thunderstruck was ass.
Not putting it in there, but yeah. I could spend 2 hours doing something completely different. Like you said, Zach, it was not a Looney Tunes movie. It was just a waste of time. So yeah. So yeah, Space Jam 2, New Legacy, new piece of shit. But it was not worthy of the Dog Shit of the Year award,
That's safe for something special.
which I will be talking about in 2 weeks on February the 28th. Craig, what do you got at number 1?
I'm right there with you. Yeah, you skipped Zach. Sorry, Zach. But I mean, he basically, like you said, he creates the movie about him. It's not Looney Tunes first, then LeBron James. It's LeBron James first. Let's make a deal. Let's throw a Nike sponsorship on here. Let's throw an Adidas sponsorship in here. Let's throw an iPhone sponsorship in here. How much money can I make from this movie that's copying LeBron James or Michael Jordan because I want to be Michael Jordan? It doesn't get much more cliche than what that movie was about. It literally, if done right, the movie could have been good. But the way it was done was not good. I don't think any actor in the movie deserves any credit. I would not want that movie on my name if I was an actor. Throw it in the trash. It's bad.
Ed? Or let me go back to Zach. Zach, what do you got at number 1?
Number one, this movie's already been mentioned, and so it is what it is. I knew it would be bad, but I didn't think it would be as bad as what it turned out to be. Number one is Tom and Jerry. The fact that Tom and Jerry is one of, if not my favorite cartoon growing up as a kid. I still watch the old episodes. They are some of the classic animation shorts that has ever been put to screen. This takes it to the whole nother level of let's just shit all over that legacy and do our own thing. The animation was terrible, and when you start the movie with a rapping pigeon, you automatically it's done. That automatically is like nope.
They were trying to imitate Oliver and Company though.
I agree with Zach though. Like you take these old cartoons or something that's old like Space Jam or Tom and Jerry, and I mean many other franchises have done it or tried to do it, and it's just a cash grab. You're using the name of something that was once cherished from many people, and you're just like, well, screw it. If we throw it out there, these people are going to watch it. We're going to make our money back from the budget. Who cares if it's good or not? And
the sad thing is they think they're trying to reintroduce it to a new generation. These kids don't care about Tom and Jerry.
Absolutely not.
And so
after watching that, they
really don't care. Yeah. No. And so my personal opinion, screw this movie. Go watch the originals. They are on HBO Max. So,
Ed, finish it off. What's number 1 for you?
Both you, Craig, and I agree. Space Jam New Legacy is a new gang load of shit. It was trash. It was dog shit trash.
Whoa.
Is that your
not dog shit?
I didn't say it. I just said it was dog shit trash. I didn't
this is not your dog
I
shit.
didn't give it's number 1 2021 worst.
Then if you have Fast 9 and Space Jam, I'm kind of curious to be what your dog shit of the year is.
I mean, but no, it just literally every time because we've all referenced Space Jam the original. Michael Jordan didn't have it in the script that he must go by his airness. It was like he had it in script that LeBron must go by King. And I get that Al G Rhythm was trying to go ahead and maybe make him mad or whatever.
But that's not. But
the fact that you remembered somebody's name from that movie blows my mind.
But that's not.
But I mean,
that's not an advantage for the movie. That's just an advantage to promote yourself.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying though. I mean, honestly, like y'all are saying, this cash grab to go ahead and promote his damn self. He's too much of an ego. I mean, yeah,
Get it in while he's still relevant.
Michael probably had a big ego too, but don't get me wrong, like he done some weird
Not
shit
compared
in
to
there.
that though.
Now, and
Well, he probably had an ego on the court and all
No,
that.
no, no.
you
I'm
know.
talking about like when he was on the court and he was just trying to
But
get the game. No, I'm talking about like
He let the movie be the movie.
and granted, people similarly said the same thing when that Space Jam came out.
yeah.
But at the same time,
Like, don't get me wrong,
that was an original idea, an original concept with an amazing soundtrack. You had some basketball players in there who weren't very good actors, with Charles Barkley, Shauna.
But you covered them up with Wayne Knight was in there. You covered them up with Bill Murray.
Yep.
They didn't do that at all with this one. They were just lazy.
Yeah.
You throw Don Cheadle in there who just needed a payday, and it was just a complete waste and a complete. You can tell how lazy it was.
Garbage.
I mean, as a moviegoer, I think that's what we're more upset about. Yeah, we're dogging on a fucking kids movie, but guess what? At the end of the day, you know, we grew up in the '90s. We grew up with Space Jam, so we're of course going to check it out.
But I can still go to Space Jam and watch it tonight and still be happy with that.
Yeah.
Thing.
You're happy with it.
It might still be cringy, but it's still
very cringy.
Fun.
A little, but I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'll turn it off, knowing like, man, I love that thing. Like
That original is fun. You can sit there and like listen to the music and the Bugs Bunny and everything. New Legacy, you're sitting there, it's like why am I doing this to myself?
And I mean, I understand, but like when you're worried about like, you know, what cartoon has a gun or what cartoon is over sexualized or what, you know,
I said, my boy.
Like
that's the one you're referring to.
Well, I mean, anything like that. Like the cartoons are just
they're their time.
But that's just that's the world that we live in today.
Yeah.
So that's how that happens.
Like it's just a cartoon. Ease up.
If you guys like that bitch fest, wait for 2 more weeks when we talk about our favorite movies of 2021, because a lot of us aren't going to agree with that either. And then don't forget we have our prestigious Dog Shit of the Year award. All this coming up in just 2 weeks, February the 28th, as we present our top 5 plus 5 of 2021.
No, I don't know what I want. You got it.
All right, guys. Today we are talking Twilight from 2008. Had a release date of November 21st, 2008. Currently, right now, IMDb has it at 5.2. Rotten Tomatoes is at 49%. The Letterboxd has it at 2 out of 5. While Edward and the Google users have it at 88%. The budget was $37 million, while it grossed at the box office a little over $407 million at the box office. Starring Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, Billy Burke, Sarah Clark, Taylor Lautner, Justin Chon, Anna Kendrick, Michael Welch, and you also have some other actors and actresses in there as well. Jackson Rathbone, Ashley Greene, Nikki Reed, directed by Catherine Hardwick. This is where we talk about a little bit about the director. You know, we introduced this a few weeks ago at the beginning of the year. We're going to continue to talk about it. So, Zach, let's talk about the director for a little bit. Catherine Hardwick, for those of you, you know, who really haven't heard a lot of her stuff, she has directed Twilight, the phenom that it is, 13, Lords of Dogtown, which I know everybody in here, if you've seen it, I'm sure you enjoy that movie. Miss Bala, she's directed a few episodes of This Is Us. Miss You Already, and then Red Riding Hood. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that movie. And then 13. So those are probably some of her most known movies. Again, I'll go over them again. Miss You Already, 13, Lords of Dogtown, Red Riding Hood, and then, of course, Twilight. So throwing a little bit of a spotlight on the director, as we always do from now on. This is our little segment that we're talking about that's new. Have you guys seen any of those movies that she's done? Or, you know, if you would Twilight be the main favorite? Or, I know for me, out of those movies I named, Lords of Dogtown, probably hands down, is probably the best movie that she's done so far. But we'll talk about Twilight. Craig?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen 13. I've seen Red Riding Hood, Lords of Dogtown, The Nativity Story. And I think I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Stargirl, but I know it's based off of the girl that was on like America's Got Talent. She's from Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah.
What would you say is your favorite, probably, if you had to pick?
My favorite, probably just the Twilight series.
She's only done the first movie, I think. Yeah.
Twilight, yeah.
Ed, what about you? You checked anything else out other than Twilight?
Kind of the consensus: Twilight, Lords of Dogtown, and Red Riding Hood. Lords of Dogtown would be my favorite of her work.
Zach?
Yeah, honestly, probably Twilight and Miss Ball are the only two that I've seen. I haven't seen Red Riding Hood, The Nativity Scene, Lords of Dogtown, and 13. I guess 13 is like her
breakout movie.
And then Twilight shot her up to status.
13 was weird.
So yeah, guys, let's get into it. Twilight. I've already went over the cast and crew. I've already went over the story. Zach, we'll start with you. First time compared to this recent watch, and did you get to check this out in the theater?
No, I didn't get to see this in the theater. When this movie came out, this was pretty much the beginning of the Twilight phenomenon, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But, I think I checked it out. It was when Blockbuster was still doing their mail-in DVD rentals and stuff like that. Watched it. I was like, okay, I read the book, and I was like, I just kind of want to see like what this whole story is about, and just kind of just trying to be invested in it. And the first time watch, I thought, okay, it's all right. I'm kind of curious to see where this is going to go. This time watch, yeah, didn't really hold up that well.
No, I got dragged to see this in 2008 opening weekend. Trying to impress some of the high school females. So I got dragged to this in 2008 when I went and saw this. It was what it was then. And you kind of make fun of it growing up and really not knowing what kind of stuff is into it. But honestly, this past rewatch, I didn't find it that horrible. So I think this is going to be a fun, diverse conversation. But yeah, this was something that I did get to check out in the theater, and it was a pretty okay watch then. But I've grown to appreciate some of the stuff that's in it, and now being the big, massive Robert Pattinson A24 fan that I am, I really appreciate the performance in this movie, and we'll talk about it then. So, Craig, what about you? Did you get to check this out in the theater? And if so, how did it live up this recent watch?
No, I was one of those people who just refused to see it solely based on what it was. I actually didn't end up seeing this movie. I saw Breaking Dawn Part 1 first. Like, I just randomly went and saw it in a movie theater because we just wanted to go do something. And after seeing that one, I was sort of intrigued by it. And so I've kind of enjoyed the series ever since.
Ed, what about you? Did you get to check this out in the theater? If not, how was it for this recent watch?
No, I did not check this out in the theater. I was not like you or yeah. So legitly, I didn't check this out until at least 2011.
What made you check it out so many years later?
My wife.
And we'll leave it at that.
I mean, honestly, that's the whole thing in a nutshell.
That's how you skipped out on Joker.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, let's dig into it. This movie kicks off right off the bat, 10 minutes into the movie. You get introduced to Bella, you get introduced to Jacob, you get introduced to Edward and the Cullens. Her first day of school, meeting Bella. She's the new girl in school. You get introduced to Eric right off the bat. So all this is in like literally 10 minutes. You get introduced to Anna Kendrick's character, all of her high school friends. She gets the truck for her homecoming present. So you get introduced to the main budget of characters literally right off the bat in the first 10 minutes. I had no issue with how quick they got into everything. I didn't have any issues with the seeing this movie in high school compared to now. So many people were making fun of the Cullens, all the facial expressions and how they act compared to everybody else, and the acting was like atrocious. I'm like, you know what? Looking at it now compared to when it came out, I'm like, there's actually really good like story behind it. The reason why Jasper looks so
pale.
No, no, well, not only pale,
just
but
like dead faced.
yeah, dead face. Like, oh, because he's fresh and he's one of the newer ones, and he's
Newer
still
vegetarian.
yeah, he's a new vegetarian. And then the same thing with like Edward. He wasn't new, but his facial expressions towards Bella, just because of her scent being super super strong. This is this, and Zach, you guys bring it in anytime you want.
Bring it in, fellas.
Some of the sense about the way the facial expressions were, being a long life Dracula fan or movie monster fan, this is some stuff they don't touch on in some of those early films. You don't see Dracula's facial expressions when he smells humans or when he smells blood that close to him. So I kind of appreciate some of the stuff going on now in this
The
movie
details of it.
because there is a lot of detail oriented work into it. Zach?
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that aspect of one thing I will compliment this movie and the franchise is that they tried to do something new with the vampire and the werewolf stereotypes and history and whatsoever. I do like the idea of Jesus Christ. Edward is able to smell his. I'm having a stroke today, apparently, guys. I don't want to talk about this. He can smell Bella's scent, and I thought that was kind of an interesting concept, and that's why he's gone for school for a couple days and all this and that. Ed, what do you think?
I mean, don't get me wrong. At first I thought this was I was gonna like puke back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. But now I can actually kind of side with you, Johnny. I can appreciate it for that matter. It's not only that, but then Edward has the power. So each vampire has their own like powers to do something, and Edward's power is to read minds, and he can read pretty much anybody he wants mind. To where Alice's is seeing in the future. She gets glimpses here and there. Either way, he can't read Bella's mind, and he's like, "Why can't I read you? I don't understand this." And later on in the series, it becomes apparent. However, it's just little things like that that I did actually like.
I mean, as a vampire, you are a hunter, and so he's been able to tame himself from dealing with the other human sense up until hers, which
basically, and it kind of transfixes him in a way.
Yeah, he said it's like his own personal brand of heroin. So her sense to him was, and to a lot of the other vampires, is, a lot stronger. So the fact that he had to take days off to kind of seize that urge before he put his family in jeopardy is some of the backstory that you don't necessarily see up front, but if you dig in a little deeper, it kind of explains that.
And not only that, but with the first interaction between the entire Cullen clan and Bella, he has to protect her. And then on top of that, once she gets cut, he also has to fend that off, take her, get her out, and then kind of resolve with his family and like calm the fuck down, kind of thing. Like he's dealing with a lot of shit.
We've played it throughout the entire episode, but what do you guys think of the score and the soundtrack? I think the score and the popularity of the soundtrack they introduced into the movie was fun, but not only that, but the actual score of the composer Zach. He recently did the composer of this movie also did stuff like what did he do? Carter Burtwell. Didn't he do the Tragedy of Macbeth?
I believe so. Let me look real quick.
So like the piano, the sounding, the classical feel of the music to me was really good.
Yeah, he did the Tragedy of Macbeth this year. Yep.
Yeah,
it was classical yet modern. Because I mean,
and mysterious.
Yes, and even throughout the entirety of the franchise, it kind of builds up and builds up, and yes, the romantic side, yes, the difference of what you just said, Craig, mystery.
So we'll go through the plot right quick because I didn't go through that, but. When Bella Swan moves to a small town in the Pacific Northwest, she falls in love with Edward Cullen, a mysterious classmate who reveals himself to be a 108-year-old vampire. Let's get to it. A lot of people clown on this as well, but I think, thinking back of it now and talking about the other movies, a lot of people have issues with why they miss out on Sunny Days. And then it comes to, you come to find out that when he is in sunlight, he kind of like gets crystallized,
It's kind of a
which
sparkle, as what he. Yeah.
Well, that's
he
what
gets
a lot of people.
that's what people call it to make fun of it, but it's more of a crystallization to where in the other movies, when the sun hits them, they get crystallized, and then if they're in it too long, that crystallization explodes and they die.
Right.
Again, in other vampire movies,
They just blow up.
they just blow up. It doesn't explain why they turn shiny and then explode. But in this one, I kind of find it.
I think just the fact that it's in this movie, it's deemed like cheesy. But if it were in a serious role or a serious movie where the vampire came out and was like shining in the light, it wouldn't have been deemed as cheesy. So it's just the fact that it's in this movie that
It also didn't help though that they made Barbie dolls of Edward Cullen, and he like when you hold him up to the light, he like crystallized. I thought it was pretty cool. I wish I wanted one, honestly.
Some of the different interactions with Taylor Lautner as Jacob Black and Edward Cullen, Robert Pattinson playing Edward Cullen for that matter, you can already sense. And there wasn't much in this movie.
They didn't.
There
They
wasn't.
didn't tease it until the end.
Yeah.
They didn't tease, and I really like that. I know we're kind of skipping all around, but I really caught that this last watch, and it really made me want to just automatically watch New Moon, to where when Edward and Bella go to the prom, Jacob pops up out of nowhere, just like an RKO, and he sits down next to Bella, and he's like, "Hey, my dad paid me $20 to come and tell you to break up with your boyfriend," and she's like, "Yeah, it's not happening. Tell him to pay up." And then, they get up and Edward's like, "I got it from here." And then they just have that eye and eye contact. Like, eventually something's going to go down.
Well, I mean, you get the story from Taylor Lautner when they're on the beach about the Quahoots and the coal people.
Collins, yeah.
So Zach, give some of your thoughts on why it's not maybe your cup of tea, or and by all means be completely honest, because we got a lot of people emailing that's it's not their cup of tea as well, that's using that exact word. So, and we have a guest caller that'll be on the line soon who does not appreciate this movie or doesn't really like this movie either. So let's give it all.
It's
take a shit. Don't wipe.
It's not take a shit or get off the pot.
It's not even that, like, I don't think this is a bad movie. I just think that it's just cringy. Like, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm just like, I know Robert Pattinson's a good actor. I know Kristen Stewart can be a good actress. Why are they terrible in this? I mean, it's just...
I mean, it is some of their first movie.
And I get that, but I mean, it's just... I mean, he was better in Goblet of Fire, which is before this.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, but that was just a minor role, but I mean...
In Goblet of Fire, though, he's being kind of himself, and he thought... I mean, I don't know if I saw this on doing some research for this, but in the Goblet of Fire, he thought that was cheesy.
Yeah, he actually held the wand like a gun because he didn't want to hold
I mean,
right.
He thought that world was cheesy, and then he comes over and does this. So, again, this is the first time that you said in Zach's Facts that he had to use the American accent.
Yeah.
I will agree with you on Kristen Stewart being kind of cringy in this movie.
Kinda.
Yeah. That's her thing, like pulling her hair back behind her ears. It's just like, oh god.
And like that's when Anna Kendrick does impersonations of her, like
it's perfect.
It's spot on because it's so easy to do. Everybody notices it.
Well, it's not only that, but it's how her facial expressions are kind of a mix between constipated and confused.
She just looks like she's uncomfortable. Like she doesn't want to do
this.
She
isn't. I mean, you got to look at it also this way: is it bad acting, or is it just the way she's being told to act? Because she needs to be uncomfortable. She needs to be undecided. She needs to be scared.
She's in a new environment with a lot of new people.
You have some weirdo staring at her for 30 minutes.
I mean,
or whatever.
He was looking at her like he wanted to eat her.
No, this motherfucker literally went in her bedroom and watched her sleep.
That was a dream.
Oh no, it fucking wasn't. No, it fucking wasn't. Maybe
that's what she thought it was.
Okay, that's what she thought it was, but the creepy bastard was still like.
We're trying to be PG here, guys, but Edward's not having it.
It is PG-13.
We're trying to
say like
you said the F word twice already.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm sorry.
Like you know how Johnny, you said like right when the movie ended, you wanted to jump into New Moon.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm good.
Well, guess what
I'm
we're
good.
talking about in a few weeks.
New Moon.
Edward's going to be upset because we're going to talk more Twilight movies than we ever touch another Harry Potter movie.
Have you seen the other ones beside this
Yeah,
one?
I've seen all of them. Yep.
Nice.
So,
And
and just to go a step further, I've even read the books.
you've read all the books.
Wow.
So
So-
okay, what was one thing that
Did you enjoy the first book compared to the movie?
Yeah,
You did?
truthfully, yeah.
remembering the books? Everybody has the book version and the movie version, of course. You know, it's
Psych,
across.
not me.
It's across a lot of different things. What is one thing you were upset about that they did not put in the movie, and one thing you were upset that they did put in the movie?
Truthfully, so in my opinion,
Yeah, no,
I was not a fan just going in. I just wanted to read the books just to see where we're going story wise.
yeah.
And so, like, if something didn't happen that was supposed to happen, I wasn't upset about it. I wasn't upset that they added new things or added characters or whatever. It was just, I just wanted to see what this phenomenon was, and just get two different versions. You got the movie versions, and you got the book versions. So it wasn't a total hate fest of like, we wouldn't like that. Like, no.
And I think that's such a bitch move.
So-
I honestly think that is just the worst thing to do is compare a movie to a book.
Well,
Right.
I mean, okay, it's something. What I'm meaning is it's something like this. Like with Harry Potter, a lot of people are like, kind of like, "Are you serious?" With the eye color,
No.
he did try and stuff like
No,
that.
I
but-
didn't even know Bella had green eyes or brown eyes or whatever. And
Right.
no, it wasn't
That's just somebody who is too in love with the book, chilling in their mom's basement, typing, this is Scottsdale. This is Scott from Arizona, and I just want to make sure that the eyes are not the same color that they are in the book. And
He's an avid listener, by the way.
I'm trying to send hate mail because the eyes just aren't the same color. And Edward's actually got a freckle there on his face, and it's just he's not in the movie. I need the freckle. But anyway,
Is that real?
Are you Scott from Scottsdale?
no.
Is that real?
But we do have a listener who is going to call, and Zach, I think you're going to get them on the phone, and we're going to see. You know, we appreciate the people who out there that are listening, who email the show. The phone number is out there, so if you ever want to call, text, or try to be on the show and talk about the movie, by all means, go for it, and we'll talk and get you on the phone and talk to you about a movie. All right, guys, so back at it. Like I said, if you guys want to hang out and talk to us about movies, just email us at cinemen921@gmail.com. Or you guys can go to the social media. The phone number is on there as well. You guys can send a text or give us a call. But right now, Zach, who do we have wanting to hang out and talk movies?
All right, dear listeners, we have one of my good friends on the line. We got Latana, or Tana, as we call her. She's one of my coworkers that works with me at our job. Say hello to the listeners there, Tana.
Hey, everybody.
She's here talking about Twilight with us. Before we get to that, Tana, I believe you got your top 5 worst movies of 2021. Do you have any honorable mentions beforehand?
Honorable mentions. We're gonna go with Thunder Force. I didn't even finish all of it. I went and looked at some socks in my room. So also Venom. Let There Be Carnage. There was some interesting wigs in my room as well. So I started it. Finish? No. Mm-mm. No finish. It no bueno.
What's your number 5?
So number 5, Jungle Cruise.
Oh, you
I am
didn't
a
you
fan
didn't
of
smell what the
fun
Rock
and
was
bad
cooking.
jokes. But this was 2.5 hours of the Mummy Temple of Doom.
Oh, that's bad.
So you didn't smell what the Rock was cooking.
I smelt it. I threw it away.
Did not smell it at all.
And
Oh man.
I sprayed some air freshener because it was
Ooh, got the Lysol out.
it was duro and
Man, poor Rock.
Old DJ did not satisfy.
And she's a Rock fan, by the way, and that's how bad it is.
Oh wow. What do you got at number 4?
What's your number 4, Tana?
Red Notice.
Oh, okay. Ooh, another rock.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Yeah. Once again, I started coloring my coloring book. So, pew.
I mean, it does depend on the coloring book, though.
I mean, adults with cats. I mean, it was kind of lit to color cats.
There you go.
To watch this movie. So,
What comes in at number 3?
dear Evan Hansen,
What was it?
I am a band choir nerd.
It was Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh yeah. I heard bad things about that movie.
And it almost made me hate musicals.
Oh, and you said you were a choir person, so. Ooh.
Almost made me hate musicals. Almost. It didn't quite get me.
What about number 2?
I am a child of the 90s. Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
I am pissed off, if I can say that.
Yeah.
Pardon language or not pardon it, whatever.
Nope. Go for it. Edward says worse.
Yes.
I used to go to the movie theaters. And I used to go to Crossroads and Penn Square Mall when they had arcades. So that's how old I am. And beat boys playing Mortal Kombat. Got excited when the new one came out. Wish somebody could have beaten me.
Yeah. It was you know what, it almost made my list. I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan as well, and I wanted to put it in there, but just something made me not do it. I didn't like the way they treated Gordo in this movie, and it was awful.
I literally played Mortal Kombat at the house. PS4. Played Mortal Kombat. I was like, how? That's basically my whole face the whole time. How?
I can't wait to hear what number 1 is.
And then Tana, what is your number 1 worst movie of 2021?
Matrix Resurrections.
And tell people
Matrix
why do you hate the Matrix Resurrections?
Inception Matrix? Is that what you called it? Inception Matrix. I was confused, Ed, the whole time. I love Keanu. That is like my ex-husband twice removed in my mind. And this made me sad. Because I'm just like, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to get a conclusion. And I was like, this is just Inception.
Yeah.
With Matrix people.
Yeah,
This
left
is all
more
this
questions at the end. Yeah.
Like a duck. Why? Why do we need to be done like that?
That's
a good top 5 list.
Yeah, really good top 5 list. Really fun.
Where would you rank Space Jam? Or did you not even see it?
I will not.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't make the list.
Of Michael Jordan.
We asked because 3 out of 4 of us had it as the number 1 worst, and you had it as
I had it number 2. Yeah.
number 2. So
yeah. Tana, what's the main attraction that wanted to bring you to the episode today and talk about Twilight? Were you a Twilight fan of the movies, or are you just disgusted with the entire franchise?
I was a Twilight fan. I also a book nerd. I love books. Thinks it's awesome. I read it, was like, oh, this would be cool. I watched it, and I said, okay, maybe it'll get a little better. Okay, it's not getting better. Okay. I bought them thinking, okay, this is going to be great. I'm going to rewatch these and see, and was the worst moment of my life that I will never get back. Super emo, All American Rejects, Paramore, My Chemical Romance.
Hold on. Those are the glory days.
Oh,
As much as I like the music, this movie, I keep thinking to myself, what could I do that would be better than this movie? And that is to go downtown and tape $100 bills to my body and allow people to just snatch them off of me.
That's a way to lose a lot of money fast.
I'd rather take that. I would rather take that. I would rather be sealed up with Flex Seal before I watch
Whoa!
another Twilight movie again.
So
I didn't like her.
So Latana, you said you read the books. Was there anything we just got done talking about? Was it just like the translation of the story that didn't work, or was it just that the actors themselves, just the whole emo hot topic goth aspect of it, or what was it that just kind of like was just like, no, I'm out?
It's the combo wombo for me. It was a combination of not seeing it being fully reflected in the book from the books, and then seeing people act bad, and then bless his heart and all his parts. Like the CGI, like the grown woman's face on the baby, and them turning into wolves, and then this glitteriness, and just lace eye. It was. I gave them away. I gave the book movies away.
Oh no!
That's how bad it is.
So I'm interested to ask. Before we kind of get out of here, do you have any favorite scenes from that first movie, or was it just all bad memories for you?
It was all bad. The worst part is the imprinting on Nessie, because that's what he called her. That's what Jacob called her, Nessie.
That was Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Yes. I get about imprinting because, ducks and all that kind of stuff. If they see you, quack, quack, you the mama now. Yeah. Perfectly understand that. That is a combination of bestiality and R. Kelly.
Oh,
R. Kelly.
We're bringing in the big guns today, folks.
It's the nasty McNastiness for me.
That's who was missing from the Super Bowl halftime show.
It's the big nastiness for me. I did not believe it. There's nothing about Kristen Stewart, and bless her heart, once again in all her parts, that in this movie made me believe that these two dudes was like hot for her.
Yeah, you're right.
I've seen The Walking Dead be more attractive.
Ooh.
And but that's just my opinion.
No. I'm glad to hear it. So I'm almost scared. What is your star rating for the first movie? Just the first movie, out of 10.
Movie?
If you, how many stars out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be generous and give it about a 3 or a 4, because you first getting introduced to the story. So you're just like, oh, that's kind of cool. Well, let's see where this goes. So I think probably I give it like I'm gonna give it a 4.
I like it. I like the honesty.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 because you're getting introduced. But if you're not, I was whelmed. I was underwhelmed. I was whelmed.
Well, I mean, when Kristen Stewart's putting her hair back behind her ears like every 10 seconds, it's kind of hard to get irritated. It gets irritating.
I low key, I don't even have that much hair. I got a wig. If I tucked my hair behind my ear as many times as you did, this sucker would have been snatched off long time ago. Your hair is not that. It's not getting in your way. It's not. That's why they make ponytail holders.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. I mean,
well, Tana, it's been real. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's it was quite, your analysis of this movie has been quite interesting, to say the least.
I'm here for the kids.
Was there anything? Is there anything positive about this franchise that you would say? I mean, I know this movie franchise made like $3.3 billion at the box office. Is there could there be a reason why, or is there something that just drew people to the story, or what do you think?
Because tweens love seeing people fall in love. I personally, the best part of the movies is when people was dying at the end. Well, the imaginary dying is, y'all don't know about this movie, spoilers, sorry for you. People's heads being chopped off.
That was a pretty cool
That
scene.
legit was the best part for me.
I will say, with the war at the end of the entire series, for that matter, I've seen that one in movies or the theaters, and honestly, once Dakota Fanning's head was ripped off, I actually cheered. And when it all went back and done a rewind and was a vision, I was like, "Son of a bitch! Are you serious?" I mean, in front of the entire theater. So
You also
Way to kill
skipped
the
out on
vibe. How
Joker.
to just make people think people is dead. It would have been great if they would have just stayed dead, but alas, 'tis all a dream.
So Tana, don't forget before we get out of here, do you have a social media account?
I do. It is actually just my name, Latana.
Follow.
On Facebook,
Don't forget.
Instagram.
Don't forget to give us a follow on Facebook. And next Monday you can enter to win the Batman contest giveaway. And we just announced everything that's in that giveaway. So find us on Facebook, give us a like, and when the contest pops up, go ahead and enter the contest.
Ooh, Moody Millionaire.
So.
Okay, I got you.
All right, cool. Thank you for the conversation and thank you for calling in. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, then. Y'all take care.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
So that being said, continue to give us a like, give us a follow, give us a call, guys. It doesn't matter if it's 15 minutes or 45 minutes. It doesn't matter if you're from New York City, Oklahoma City, Houston, El Paso. Give us a call and we will talk movies to you and with you. So I love everybody's different opinions. I love everybody's different thoughts on movies, top fives. That's what we're here for. We're here for conversation. So, great listener. Thank you so much, Latana, for listening and wanting to come in and call in and spend a little bit of your evening with the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. So,
and raw opinions too, man. She didn't hold back.
No, for sure. It's Monday, so you got to talk a little raw.
Coloring book and all.
What do you guys got to talk about the beach scene? After the beach scene's active, that's where you guys start to get the concept of, hey, the Cullens are not who they say they are. Mm-hmm. They're showing up, and then you get the first really idea of what Jake and his tribe is about turning into maybe a wolf. Again, they tease it in this movie, but seeing New Moon and what comes, they eventually show you in other movies. Did you like the teasing of some of the story here, or were you just like, you know what, for a 2-hour movie? And that's another thing I want to talk to you guys about. For a 2-hour exact movie, how did the pacing go for you? Zach, were you just kind of twiddling your thumbs ready for it to be over? Be honest.
There are some parts, yes. I mean, after this, we get the restaurant scene where Bella and Edward have dinner. That was probably one of the only enjoyable moments in the movie, truthfully, because I truly thought, like, in that moment there was like some chemistry of, like, okay, maybe these two can survive or grow in a relationship or whatever, or that. So it's just, but from then on, it's just, you introduce the other Colons and then the baseball scene and then the fight at the end of the movie.
And you also get a nice little Stephanie Meyer cameo,
yeah,
at the diner. So yeah, what about you guys? Craig, do you like the enjoyment of the pacing? Did it go by smooth for you?
I mean, this first one does have a little bit of a pacing issue right around the middle in some areas. But I do enjoy the fact that they tease everything in this movie as well as build up sort of the tension. I feel like some of the parts in the movie were kind of replayed. Like, they hit on it then they go to something else, and they come back and hit on it, and then they go to something else. But that was also Edward dealing with his kind of swings in how he was dealing with what Bella is.
His infatuation with her.
Right. And then I think once we get to the part to where she kind of knows what he is and meets the family. Yeah, say it. Batman. I think that's when the pacing really picks up is when she finds out and they are kind of on the same page of like, hey.
From when he shows her pretty much his room.
Yeah.
And then you got the baseball scene.
Yeah. It all flies from that point on.
Do you guys wish that they had just focused more? This is primarily Edward and Bella's story in this film, but they, for film franchise sake, they have to set up the stakes that's going to go forward. Do you want that, or did you think they should have left that in part 2, which is primarily Jacob and Bella's like connection?
I liked this one. I liked the storytelling of Edward and Bella more than I do New Moon of Jacob and Bella. I thought number 2 was probably the worst of the franchise, but I do enjoy this one. I think this one is even perfect as a whole. Just if they never made any other movies after this one, I think this is a perfect love story.
What's really funny about that is it was at the time, a lot of people were reversed on that. A lot of people thought New Moon was better. I mean, mainly it was more females, but still.
The Jacob infatuation.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude had his shirt off the entire time.
Pretty boy, cut pretty well.
Well, isn't there more action in New Moon than Twilight, the first one?
You see the wolves. You get the whole.
Because okay. So there's more action because it's supposed to be the warmer side because Edward's cold, Jacob's warm. I mean, literally in the story,
But it's also Edward. Isn't there some plot about him trying to sacrificing himself or something like that?
Yeah,
number 2. Yeah,
he's staying away from Bella because he feels like if he's around her, he's endangering her.
Well, Alice also has a vision that Edward's gonna die if he hangs around Bella.
Yeah,
and that's leading into Eclipse and so on and so on. And we'll get there at one point. I think we might talk some more movies later on down the line, but at least for this one goes, to answer your question, Zach, I do enjoy just the way this one is paced and how this one sets up the next movie. You get a lot of teasing in this movie. You get the rivalry between Jacob and Edward in this movie.
Not only them, but the entire tribes.
Yeah, you get the teasing of the tribes. You also get the teasing of Kristen Stewart and Bella wanting to become a vampire herself. Throughout the whole movie, she's like, you know what? I know what you are. I need you for the rest of my life. And then Edward's like, I'm not going to end your life.
You see the opposite side of what the Cullens aren't. You see the actual vampires who do hunt on humans.
What do you guys think of that? I mean, yeah, that's a good point bringing that up. What do you guys think of the trio of vampires who was, about 30 minutes in, you start seeing that
the black-eyed peas?
You start, yeah, pretty much. You start seeing somebody start to... The killings started, about 30 minutes into it.
Yeah. I thought it was, obviously I can't remember the black guy's name, but he's kind of like the more mellow, understands what's going on, whereas the white guy, like
James Laurent,
yeah,
and what's her name?
Victoria.
Yeah.
James' whole thing was like, it doesn't matter if he gets the kill; he just wants the hunt.
He likes the thrill of the chase. Simple as
that. Once they kind of added that storyline into, on top of the whole Edward Bella thing, I think it added a new level of danger to it because you got past the is he gonna bite her, is he gonna turn her, and then Edward, and then it turns into they protect them against everybody else, and so the ending of that movie I think turns out to be paced well and fairly good in the story.
This movie and this franchise produced a lot of stars. Like I said, we're getting ready to talk the Batman in just literally 3 weeks. It hits theaters, and we're going to talk about it. I think this is probably going to be Robert Pattinson's biggest movie to date, even though he's been in some different big movies in the past. But I think the Batman is going to be a life changer for him. Twilight was a life changer, but I think this one is going to be even bigger.
Whole new level.
Yeah, but I think this could go one of two ways.
It'll be a career definer.
Yeah, what if this movie comes out and nobody just likes it.
It's a bomb.
Honestly, from the teaser, I personally like if that's all the film was, I like it. I think it's good.
Yeah, but what if this is a movie like The Joker, to where the trailers made it look good, and a lot of people went and saw it. It made $1 billion, but there's a lot of people out there who also just it wasn't their cup of tea.
Then I mean they're wrong. They can switch to Earl Grey or something like their chamomile or something like. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean,
And even just probably about 6 months to a year ago, when Robert Pattinson was announced as Batman, Craig and Edward, you guys were pretty. Craig, you were kind of semi
I was
loath
doing
about
it.
him.
I was doing it just to mess with you.
But Ed, you were kind of really low on Robert Pattinson being cast as Batman. Looking back at it now, since then we've talked Lighthouse and
Good Time.
Good Time,
yeah,
and now we've talked Twilight. So we've done 3 Robert Pattinson movies.
And Tenet.
I mean that's the
and
thing.
The Tenet.
Like don't wrong, I have flipped on that simply because like
you ready to eat your words in 3 weeks?
No, not really. I flipped on it because I seen more of what he can do and more of what his potential is. It's just the same as anybody looking at anybody else for that matter from just their past. That doesn't define them now. It's the potential they have currently. So I mean, don't wrong. Yeah, I felt that was great. I mean, honestly. So we will see what does come out of it. As far as this, it was just kind of like, okay, most of these actors seemed, and yeah, could have been just how the direction was. It could have been the script and all that they wrote that was a bit different from the books. But it looked like they all were constipated for most of the movie. I mean, Bella looked constipated, confused, and kind of awkward. So I mean, it is what it is. There's certain points in
it
lives.
almost looked like, in my opinion, they got on set and they only had like 5 minutes to rehearse the scene, and so they were just like, just make something up and we'll go run with it.
Pretty much.
Craig, Batman.
Yeah, I think Batman's going to be probably DC's biggest film yet.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Surpassing Wonder Woman 84.
No, that'd have a hard job there to do.
I was saying Wonder Woman 84, Aquaman. I think it's going to pass all of those.
Do you think it'll pass the Dark Knight trilogy? Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins?
Well,
depends
on
what happens.
One film.
Well, the Dark Knight, because that's like the one that's highly.
I don't think you can. No, that's not fair. I don't think you can take the Batman and judge it against the Dark Knight, because that's a number one, almost prequel, judging it against a really high praise sequel.
And at the same time,
I think you have to almost compare Batman Begins to the Batman.
Yes and no, because at that time, yes, Batman was hot, but we're in the golden age of comic book movies right now. Everybody's high on what's going to be the next big comic book movie.
Yeah.
And so if this movie comes out and critics are like, it's a 98%, we think it's amazing, it's the best thing since Dark Knight.
But that's the thing, though. When you look at your homework and you do critics with DC movies,
they're going to compare it to the Dark Knight.
But they're also going to probably shit on it. How many DC movies have came out to where some of the critics give it praise?
But exactly, what if they come out and they say this is a 98% movie? It's going to explode.
We'll see. I mean, yeah.
I think the thing for me is Matt Reeves has shown the audience or the public saying, look, this is my Batman. Look at those trailers. Like, everyone that I've talked to about this movie is like, that movie looks legit.
Are you guys excited that this is technically a year one Batman film?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I like how kind of they've gone in and made him.
Everything looks homemade.
Yeah. Yeah. A fresh start for that matter. Because I mean, in Batman Begins, for that matter, they kind of, he came back and he had billions of dollars to his name, so he could buy whatever the hell he wanted. He had an R&D department that was practically untouched, and almost nobody knew what the hell was in there except for 1 or 2 people. And he talked to that guy and was like, "Hey, what's up with this?"
And this is 2 years into him being Batman, right? Like real
within
early.
a year, 2 years, yeah, somewhere in that area.
I think just for me, just seeing Robert Pattinson basically shred the Edward, the Twilight persona that basically built his career, and he's able to do stuff like The Lighthouse, Good Time, Remember Me, which I thought was a very underrated film. Tenet. It was, I think he's up to the task to do this. So
I don't think he shed the Twilight whole persona. I just think he's built himself up so well that
he's evolved.
That's not what he's known for anymore because his work has been so good.
And you have to applaud him because he's already came out and said that if her new book is made into a movie adaptation, he will reprise
go back,
his role as Edward.
And I respect that for him. And I respect
hell yeah.
him for that. Just saying, look, this is what made me. If they want me to come back, I will.
And honestly, with that being said, that could be even better, with his evolution of what he's done and doing, for that matter. That could basically be a hell of a lot better for that franchise.
Does anybody want to name any
top scenes?
favorite scenes? Yeah, top scenes before we get out of here.
I like the baseball scene where they have to play in the baseball during a thunderstorm because of how hard they are able to hit the ball. I did like, the when he stopped the car and he's kind of doing that whole you didn't see it. I did enjoy that, even though as cheesy as it is. The whole kind of unraveling of her figuring Jacob out. I like those scenes. But stuff that I didn't like was the CGI, the whole jumping from tree to tree and doing all that. Other than that, everything else is just kind of the whole ideas that people didn't like this movie back in the day. It was because you were in high school and you were like, oh, he sparkled. Oh, he did this. He did that. But when you break it down and you're older, it's like, no, that's actually like what a vampire might look like because they are.
I'll give you agree. I'll agree with that. I mean, honestly, high school emotion, immaturity for that matter, going through. So,
it was popular. You don't want to be part of the craze.
Well, it's not even that, but as a boy or a male, you were kind of just like,
that's stupid.
Vampire. That's Underworld's real vampires, man. Shit's stupid, man. That's for weaklings.
It's a love.
It's a hell of a difference.
It's a love story.
Yeah.
It's love triangle at the beginning, but it is a love story, and I think the whole persona of I don't want to be known as somebody who enjoyed something that is based entirely on a love story.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean,
no, you're good. You're good. Some of my top scenes. We'll name it off right quick. The beach scene. Jake telling the backstory was phenomenal.
That was his best scene in this movie.
He was only in there for like a cup of coffee. I did enjoy the scene where he saves her and stops the truck. I thought that was pretty cool. The baseball scene all the way to the chase, and then the ending prom scene. I thought it was call me cheesy or what, but I thought it was pretty cool when she wanted to be turned and he tilted her neck and it looked like he was going to do it, and then he just decided not to. It just makes you want to see more of what those characters evolve into next. So, and I think this movie was really important during the time of just pop culture. The soundtrack was everywhere. The movie, the figurines, the T-shirts, the clothing, the bookmarks, everything was.
I think we were in
everywhere.
like a vampire craze at that point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everything was huge about this movie. So,
and I mean, Morbius is coming out soon, so we're back at it.
Yeah. So I can't wait to give this a star rating. Zach, do you have any favorite scenes?
The restaurant scene that I was talking about earlier, I thought that was kind of a good connection moment between the two. The prom scene at the end, it was cute. It was kind of like that, just that moment where you think, maybe everything is going to be okay with these two characters, and then like Victoria's like looking in the distance or whatever.
You thought, bitch.
The secret window.
You thought, bitch.
So.
If I had any to bring, definitely the baseball playing scene. That was always kind of a cool little thing. Even when I didn't really like this movie, I thought that was kind of cool. Honestly, I might get some looks and hell, maybe even like email or two against me on this. But the classroom and like cafeteria scenes that were awkward as hell, I kind of like. I kind of think it's funny.
Those are the cringe moments for me.
They
it's
are
just like good God.
They are cringy and just awkward as shit.
But that's
I guess that's the point of it.
But it's kind of like the essence of the film in a way. And I mean, I kind of like that, as well as when she's first introduced to the family. It's just kind of you can sense that they want to be warm, they want to be inviting, and they're trying so hard, but the overwhelming sensation of their current nature is just going against them so freaking hard. So yeah, those would be my three tops. So
perfect top scenes. You guys can let us know your top scenes or your new top five. This week we talked our top five worst movies from 2021.
Well, I mean, we can't end this without getting this answer: Team Edward or Team Jake?
I thought we were going to say that for New Moon.
No. This starts now.
It starts now. Team Edward.
Hey.
Edward.
We're all
Hey.
Team Edward. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, we're all Team Edward.
Motherfucker turns into
My
Batman. What you think?
What's up, bro?
What you think? We
What's
gonna go
up, dog?
Team Jacob? Hell no.
Fuck that wolf bitch. No, I'm
You should do a commentary for one of the movies. Just
Again, you
say
guys
that.
can send hate mail to Edward at cinemen921 at gmail.com.
So one of my last, sorry to cut you off, Johnny. One of my last comments was hilarious. My first job was, my first job was at a fast food restaurant over by where I live, and one of my managers was actually named Jacob. And the funny thing is I worked there back in 2008, and Burger King was promoting this movie. So yeah,
Who? Yeah, don't say it again.
Yeah, I know, right?
If they don't sponsor us, we don't sponsor them.
Exactly. Fuck them.
Exactly. 100% agree.
But we do love our current sponsors.
Hey, we do.
We got a lot of good ones coming up, guys. Don't forget the giveaway. You get the 6-pack of OKC soda, $15 gift certificate from Rodeo Cinema, a $50 gift certificate from San Marcos Restaurants, a $10 poster from CDR Electronics, and then a $25 gift card to Little Caesars right here locally in Oklahoma City. So you're gonna get fed.
I mean,
you're gonna get fed listening to this podcast.
Like, this is not just
we
one
will,
night.
We will make you Team Edward by pound, literally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't read that from over here.
I don't.
So, but no, star rating, guys. Zach, we'll start with you. Twilight, star rating.
I think this is pretty much, and it's fine. It's fine movie, truthfully. I don't hate this. I don't love it. It's just one of those, like, it's kind of, looking back, it's just kind of interesting that was just a big phenomenon on the scale of Harry Potter and the Hunger Games. This first film, like I said, it's been cringy to watch, but it's just kind of interesting to see where these actors started and where they're going. I'll give it a 6. So.
6. I didn't know how I was gonna tend to this movie so many years later, but I'm gonna have to give it a 7. The soundtrack saves it. The music is good. I don't think it's that much of a cringeworthy as far as just the acting goes. Looking at it now, I kind of see why maybe it might be cringeworthy. Some of the stuff that Bella does or Kristen Stewart.
Taylor Lautner was pretty cringy.
Yes, Taylor Lautner was very, very cringy. And he's cringy throughout the entire franchise too. So, but yeah, I thought it was just a fun little goof off love story, and you gotta appreciate it for it is what it is. I can definitely see how it's not some people's cup of tea because for sure. So 7 for me. Craig, what about you?
This movie is just kind of like one of those ones where it's like, what do you call them?
Guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure. Like Pitch Perfect. This is one of those movies. Even though it is cringy, even though there are moments where I'm like, oh, that's kind of bad. You get cringeworthy moments in Star Wars. You get cringeworthy moments in Marvel. You get cringeworthy moments in Oscar-winning movies. So, I mean, you can't really just sit there and hate on a movie because of those moments. I do enjoy these movies, so I'm going to give it a 6.5.
6.5. Edward, finish us off like you always do.
10 out of 10. No.
100%. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely a 6 out of 10 for me as well. I don't mind it. Have watched this many times. Not my favorite movie. Definitely don't think bad about it either. Just kind of one of those that every now and then I can watch it. So yeah, 6 out of 10.
Nice. So give us your star rating. Some of you already have. Send it in. Twilight star rating CINEMEN921 at gmail.com. Next week, guys, don't forget we're talking our top 5 dual threat entertainers. Now, the only way this works is they have to be if they enter the realm in both music and movies, or movies and other some kind of entertainment. So the rule is they have to have been in a movie.
LeBron James.
So yeah. So send us in your top 5 dual threat entertainers for next week, and we will read them aloud just like we do every week at the end of every episode.
Ooh, the mail's here. That means we get to see our old friend, Mailbox.
We don't have a mailbox, but we do have a lunchbox. Ain't that right, Ed?
Every day.
So, again, next week, guys, don't forget we're talking about Juice. It's the 30th anniversary, which is it surpassed its 30th anniversary last January, just a few weeks ago. So, that's what is online for next week. 30th anniversary of Juice.
I saw today was the 30th anniversary release of Wayne's World.
Oh, yeah. Starring Tupac Shakur. So, should be a fun episode next week. Check it out. I believe that movie is on. I'll find it. I know that movie's somewhere to
it's on
somewhere to
Tubi, I
stream.
believe.
Yeah, it is on Tubi. Juice. Or for the fellas here in the room, you can check it out on the Vudu account. So send us in some emails, and we'll read them aloud just like we are today. David says my top 5 overrated directors, which is what we did last week. Number 1. I'll start with 5. Number 5, Mel Gibson. Number 4, John Carpenter. Number 3, Ryan Coogler. Number 2, the Russo brothers. Number 1, George Lucas. Carrie. My top 5 worst movies of 2021. Number 5, Fast 9. Number 4, The Eternals. Number 3, Pig. Number 2 is In the Heights. Number 1, Mortal Kombat. Sarah97 says Twilight is a guilty pleasure. It's not a terrible movie. There's definitely worse out there, but this one is fun for me and memorable. 7 stars. Lawrence from El Paso says my top 5 worst movies of 2021. Number 5, Zach, Don't Have a Stroke. Number 5, Godzilla vs. King Kong. Number 4, The Marksman. Number 3, Spiral. Number 2, The Eternals. Number 1, Space Jam 2. Gabriel says, what's that?
I forgot the Marksman even came out this year. So.
Gabriel says Twilight isn't my cup of tea, and it was a better watch than Rear Window. 8 stars. Zach, you okay?
I'm alright, yeah.
Throwing shots.
Tiffany says I completely enjoyed this rewatch of Twilight. Probably an unpopular decision, but I give it a 9. Coco Chris says Twilight's whack. I'm not even going to rewatch it. But my top 5 worst movies of last year. Number 5, Old. Number 4, Space Jam 2. Number 3, The Marksman. Number 2, Coda. Number 1, Quiet Place Part 2. That came out last year?
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Man. For some reason, I feel like that came out like 2 years ago. Sam G69 says my top 5 worst movies of 2021. Number 5, Pig. Number 4, The Addams Family 2. Number 3, Tick Tick Boom. Number 2, Fast 9. Number 1, Space Jam 2.
Oh my god. Space Jam's hated.
Space Jam 2. This is funny. Derek says my top 5 worst of 2021. Number 5, Mortal Kombat. Number 4, The Tragedy of Macbeth. Number 3, Pig. Number 2, Godzilla vs. King Kong. Number 1, Space Jam 2.
I think the general consensus is the dog shit of the year is Space Jam. New Legacy.
This is a good one. Henry says his Twilight recent watch was decent, but it's nothing special. 6 stars. William, this is a good one. This is different. Did anybody catch Bel Air after the Super Bowl? I'm super interested, but I don't know if I want to start a Peacock account.
I did not.
Good Lord.
The Seinfeld.
No, we were watching like Luge or something on the Olympics.
Sluge?
Luge. I don't know what it was called. But
Luge.
Zach, you interested? It's rated TVMA. It's very serious. I know some people that did watch it, but the first 3 episodes are already out. They're only about 40 minutes each.
I'm kind of partially interested in it. I'm just kind of interested to see what they're going to do on a drama sense. I know when they came to Will Smith about it, he said absolutely not, but something clearly changed his mind about what his changes. He's producing it, so I think he has some kind of creative control over it. But overall, I mean, it looks interesting, but I don't know. It's just, why would you mess with the classic?
I agree with you.
Not that I love the original, but that's just one of those things that we grew up with, you know.
I agree. I do. Although I love the original, I could watch it and it would make it's perfect background noise. I will check this one out when all the episodes are out, probably.
Yeah.
We'll end this one with Valerie, and then we'll call it a day because a lot of emails about people's top 5 plus 5s are in there. We're saving those for February 28th. I absolutely love Twilight and the series. It's 9 stars. It's 9 stars. If you guys could do any other book to film adaptation franchises, what would it be and why?
You already know.
I'm not going to ask Edward that question.
Although I do want to do Maze Runner.
Maze Runner would be interesting.
Isn't there like 3 of them?
3 of them, yeah.
Craig?
Look, we can do like Hunger Games, but I don't want to do Maze Runner.
Hunger Games would probably be. If we had to pick one, probably Catching Fire. That'd be interesting conversation.
I don't really read a lot of books.
They are getting ready to come out on 4K, even though I already have them on 4K.
Still book 4K.
Yeah. Other than that, guys, we're getting ready to get out of here. Thanks everybody for joining and tuning into this episode. Another nail in the coffin of Twilight. Zach, do you have anything to the listeners before we get out of here and head to Juice next week?
No, this will be a first-time watch for this movie, so I'm interested to see what this movie was and what it is 30 years later. And thank you for our guest listener, Tana.
Thank you for sure. Thank you, Tana. Edward, do you have anything you want to add into this movie before we head to Juice next week?
Yeah, pretty cool to get to know her a little bit, as well as Twilight. Definitely hated on back in the day, but not that bad. Everybody has their own opinions, though, so it is what it is. But this is Edward saying I'll see you on the silver screen.
Craig, do you have anything you want to add on before we go into Juice next week?
No, it'll be a first-time watch, so easy killer. First-time watch for me, so I know of Tupac, I know of his music, so I'm not sure if it's like biographical or if it's just a movie he made, but I think it'll be interesting to watch.
Interesting watch. Anything to add to Twilight before we get out of here?
I love it. And that's it.
I thought you were going to end us with a whole boomer like you did last week.
Oh. Hey, OU women's softball. Ryan ruled the first team 4-1, the number 3 team in the country. So there we go. Boomer Sooner.
Next week, guys, we talk Tupac, we talk Juice, and we talk our top 5 dual threat entertainers right here on the Cine-Men Movie Podcast.